Hi, I'm Roshni, and here we have Austin from Kraken Exchange. Hi, Austin.
Hello.
How are
doing?
you today?
Still alive, so very grateful.
How are you liking the event?
It's a nice event. We just had lunch.
Okay.
Beautiful buffet.
Okay.
High quality meat cuts.
Okay.
Wonderful hummus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, great stuff.
Definitely, yeah. Okay. How are you liking the people, the projects here?
Well, the people are very nice. I'm meeting a lot of actually very smart people. There's a
Yeah.
lot of familiar friends of mine that I've known for some time.
That's great.
There's a couple good projects.
Yeah.
There's a lot, there's some projects not as good, but
Yeah. Okay.
some good ones.
Okay. Yeah.
I enjoy coming because some old friends of mine are here, and it's a lot of the Bitcoin fans of the UAE come here, and there's a lot of good discussion.
There are plenty, by the way. Yeah. So, could you tell us a little bit about your background, please?
Well, so I first learned about Bitcoin in 2011. It wasn't for a few years that I got really kind of involved full time, and that was in 2013. I kind of stopped doing anything else and just started focusing on building a Bitcoin company then. So I, along with Nick Spanos and some others in the kind of New York Bitcoin community back then, we had opened a physical exchange, which I think was the first or one of the first kind of physical Bitcoin exchange venues. But then quickly following that, the state government of New York had issued the bit license.
Yeah.
That kind of didn't immediately, but kind of put a big barrier for us to grow the business. And in late 2014, I joined Kraken Bitcoin Exchange. It's now one of the largest exchanges globally. We do a few $100 million on average per day of volume, and amongst like real volume, real exchanges, it's probably in the top 5 or definitely top 10 globally.
Yeah. So how difficult or how challenging or how beautiful was gathering people and software and everything to build Kraken Exchange?
Oh well, there were I joined. There was already probably a few dozen people, but it's been a tough growth. There was a period there where the Bitcoin had dropped to $200 after a early 2014 spike to about 1,000, and it stayed there it went relatively sideways for about 18 months, and those were tough times. There wasn't a lot of interest, and kind of the buzz had died off, and then another wave came, and we're kind of in that period right now. It's obviously things are we're just kind of been normalized to it, but things are much more. The volumes are much higher. There's much more interest. There's a lot more people building in the industry. There's a lot more interest, and there's a lot more flow, Bitcoin flow and volume. So sorry if I repeated myself.
No,
but
that's fine,
just like any small business, it's difficult.
It takes time. It is difficult, hard work, all that. Yes, definitely, I do agree. Yes. So before we sign off, we all know you're a Bitcoin maximalist, but just your thoughts to our viewers: Bitcoin or blockchain or both?
I mean, blockchain is somewhat of a meaningless term. It could mean, a chain of blocks could be many things. But the vast majority of people, talking about blockchain all over the place, it's just a marketing term. It's kind of meaningless. And I think the only real blockchain that's shown any sort of robustness and utility not the only, but pretty much like the only one that kind of has shown that it can probably survive long term, or at least the most robust, and it is Bitcoin by far.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, without really any competition.
Absolutely.
You know, the as I understand it, the blockchain it exists. The value add of blockchain is in decentralization, so that you can have censorship resistance and unconfiscatability, and so that you can have a network that is somewhat resistant to control from third parties, so that nobody can step in between you and another and in terms of economic activity. And as far as like maintaining decentralization, you know, time will tell, because there's potentially all sorts of vulnerabilities that we haven't even thought of, but maybe some that have been thought of. But in that regard, nothing comes close to Bitcoin. I mean, nothing comes close to Bitcoin in the terms of decentralization and the attributes that decentralization leads to, censorship resistance and the like. But time will tell. I mean, Bitcoin could still fail. It's unlikely, but it still could fail. Sorry.
No worries. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for your time. It was lovely talking to you. I hope you enjoy your day today. Thank you.
The pleasure was mine. I
Thank you.
guarantee.